Welcome back to the workshop Handyman. We're going to do a quick little install of a Harbor Breeze ceiling fan. Prefer to do my woodwork, but we got to do a little bit of other things. So we have an old fan in the house, that one there. The light and all works, but the fan is stopped. So it's been up there for, I don't know, in more than 15 years, I know. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and see what it takes to put it in. Should be a pretty simple job, because there's already been a fan up there, so everything should pretty well line right up with it. This one was a kind of a loose fit on that end of the box, so I just moved it over, picked up a rafter on this end and put a screw in that. That holds it much more secure than it was, and it's not going to matter that the box is a little off-centered, because the cover's going to cover all that anyways. I guess one into the box, one into a good rafter. I think that's a better way to do it. So now we can go ahead and start working on mounting the fan. Okay, so for this fan, it does come with a small hook on one side, kind of hooks into this. So we'll have to take these screws out so that we can set that in there, and we'll screw that to that, and then we'll be able to hook our wiring up. Okay, when you do hook these back up, you want to hook your white wire, which is your neutral. In this particular case, because it's all coming from the switch on the wall, and I have two wires. The blue wire is going to go to your light for the fan, because mine comes with the light kit, and then your black wire is going to be for your other side. Now, I'm not sure which one of these two black wires are coming from which switch on the wall, so that may be my old fan switch will turn on the lights, and the old light switch will turn on the fan, but really don't matter to me. So after we get those done and hook your ground back up, I've got my 4 screws located here installed. Now this is good. We can tuck all these wires back in the box, and we'll be ready to put the cover on it. We'll take these screws, one of these screws out, and the other one will stay in, because there is a slot. As you look at this, we'll go up onto this, so we'll take the one on the right hand side off, and the other one we'll just use it to hold the cover up on there. And then we'll start to put the blades on. Okay, once you get to this stage, you'll have a little red bag in there, and it'll come with a bunch of little washers and a bunch of little screws, and then your fan blades are reversible, so you can either have the wood grain down or the white down. We're going to have the white down, so then you simply take your piece, you set it into that, and you'll take a small red washer and one screw and place it in each of the 3 holes, snug them down, and repeat process for all 5 fan blades, and that'll get them ready to go up. Okay, I'll try to show what we've got here. What we need to do next is these screws already come in. You can see this one here I've loosened. There's a little notch right here. So you're going to have to line that notch up like I did with the first one, and you set the blade up in there, and you take those screws out, put them right back in your blade, and you just continue to rotate around. Is this kind of a pain? Yes, very drastically. Your arms will be wore out when you're done. I'll try to capture how I'm getting them in there, but I don't know how well it'll work without somebody filming this, but see if I can set it up. Yes, this is definitely not an easy process. And there's a lot of fans out there that do a better job at how you can put these on, but this is what Harbor Breeze give us for this one. So we'll work with it and continue on around and get the rest of them all put in. I don't know if that caught any of it or not, but you'll probably drop a few screws trying to do this. Okay, so the last thing we'll need to do is take the 3 screws out here to reuse. There's 3 of them around here. We'll take those 3 out and we'll install the light kit. And that's just going to be taking the 2 wires on the light kit, plugging them into these, and they're part of the light kit here. So you'll be able to find those right there. And just the white to white, black to black. And then those 3 screws will go back into the 3 holes here. And we'll line that up so that the holes in the cover allow it to go around that switch. And it should have that hooked up. And finally we get to put the globes on. And the globes are simple. Remove the little ring that we've got. These go on, and you reach up in there and screw this little ring back onto it. And then we're going to be ready for the bulbs. Now, if your hands are big like mine, this job could be a little more aggravating than it needs to be, but even my big clodhopper hands, we can get it in there. And I think it still beats the old ones with the little screws, so we'll be good to go there, and we'll put a light bulb in it. And they do provide that with it, so that'll get that. We'll be able to test it after I get them in. Okay, I've got the globes all in, got the light bulbs all installed. I also went ahead and attached the ceiling fan cable here, the chain, the light switch one, because I do have a separate switch on the wall for it. I leave that off so somebody doesn't try to get a hold of that. Those little switches are usually the first thing that go on a ceiling fan, because if you use them, they're going to break. They're always very flimsy. So let's, we've got the breakers all back on, and let's see if we can make it work. And that's that one, and the light switch is actually worked in the right direction. Looks like the fan's going to run fine. And check to make sure that it's not wobbling or anything. Looks like good smooth one, and being a wall or a close mount like that, usually they don't wobble near as much as the ones that hang down on a rod. And in a bedroom, I kind of do like them up a little closer so you don't hit them with your sheets and whatever, or bed, while you're flopping them around, or your head. If you get real fancy on the bed, you might jump up there and hit it. But anyway, so a couple of pointers that I want to make sure if you're doing this. One, when you go to mount it up, your box, make sure it's rated for a ceiling fan. Some of them are not. Make sure they're solid. If you can, get a couple screws into the wood. I always like that better than the boxes themselves anyways. Like I say, this one here, I did get one in the box and one into a good rafter. So I know it's not going to fall down. I don't want that to happen. I have a separate switch for the light and the fan on the wall. If you do not, the black and the blue wires go together in the junction up there, and you'll just have a white and a black up in the box coming as a power source or from your switch. And then you'll have to use both chains instead of the wall switch. And other than that, it's a little frustrating. I've had other ones that go together a little easier than this, but it goes together, and it didn't take an hour to do, so it's not real bad. We'll go ahead and clean up and call it a successful ceiling fan installation, and we'll go on to a different project.